Hey everybody, Erik here from EFBM, and it's Wednesday, and I gotta tell you, I am already seeing. All right, so now that I've gotten that out of my system, so it's not in the middle of the month yet, and I have a goal update. Actually, it's a modification. I'll preface it by saying during P90X, one of the things that you talk about is a modifier. So if you decide to go into something full bore, but you're not quite ready for the full-blown movement, or if you're not quite strong enough to do it yet, there's a modifier so that you can do you can do the movement, but in a modified way. So you don't get the same result, but you can build up to where you can do the full-blown movement later in time. I'm going to have to do my 75 miles this month modified. So in the annals of history, there'll be an asterisk beside this month when I reach 75 miles. Now notice I don't say if I reach, because I'm going to reach it. But here's the modifier. My legs, my shins are not, ooh, that's bright. My legs and shins are not strong enough to do the 4 to 5 miles a day that it's going to take. And I say that with a little bit of regret. I say that with a little bit of sorrow, because you guys, I really don't know what I can do to strengthen my shins, other than just continually beating them and abusing them, and that's painful. And I don't want running to be painful. I want it to be something that I can one day enjoy with my bride, that we can get out on the road and run together, and run at a pace where she's not having to slow down for me, because I'm a big hulking clod of a runner. So I'm having to modify, and what I'm doing is each week I'm going to increase my distance, but for the rest of this week I'm going to do 2 miles on the treadmill, and my goal is to do an hour of cardio a day. So by doing an hour of cardio a day, that allows me to set the pace between 4 and 5 miles, which is what I want to try and achieve at least 5 days a week. So our cardio, first 2 miles are treadmill or running on the road. Excuse me. First 2 miles are treadmill or running on the road. The remainder of the time is going to be on the elliptical. That is so I can get the distance I'm looking for, but I also give my body a chance to build up the muscles and the endurance that it needs to do the actual running. So I may switch it up, seeing how things go. I may flip-flop it to do the first 2 miles on the elliptical, and then run the remaining 2 miles at a slower pace. We'll see. I'll experiment a little bit. But you may have to do the same thing. You know, you may have to modify to meet your goal. You know what? You can't do full-on push-ups yet? Well, guess what? Take a knee, keep pushing them out. Excuse me. You can't do a pull-up? Hey, get it assisted until you can. You know, reach and work and strive and do whatever it is that you can do so that you can build up what you need to get it done. So don't be afraid to modify. One thing my bride and I talked about last night, which was totally unrelated to nutrition and exercise and health, but it has to do with your emotional health. You guys know I'm an all or nothing person, and that, for as much as it's a good thing, it's also a bad thing, because I have a hard time envisioning a gradual process. To me, it feels dragged out. To me, it feels like a waste of time. To me, it feels like, you're just dragging your feet. That's not to say that those who are gradual, kind of one step at a time people, that's not to say that that's what you're doing. And I'm not saying that you're dragging your feet if that's the kind of person you are. That's how it feels to me. So, my all or nothingness, I went into this all or nothing. I went into this, running shoes ablaze and gung-ho and overzealous, really, about the task I'd set before myself. Now I'm having to do it. La, la, la. Now I'm going to have to do it modified. I'm going to have to take the one step at a time approach. So the rest of this week, it'll be 2 miles on the treadmill. Next week, maybe 2.25. The week after that, 2.5. Week after that, you get the idea. 1/4 mile increments until I can get it done. Until I get to a place that I can do 3 miles at a consistent pace. Because I don't like being the slow runner. But if that's what my body can do, that's what my body can do. And you've got to accept the same thing for you. You can't live in the past. Like I keep having to remind myself. I keep having to look at myself in the mirror and say, you're not that young 20-something-year-old that was in the Navy at 160, 165 pounds that could run, his PRT in 9.5 minutes. I'm not that guy. But that guy's determination still resides in me. That never fades. I still can muster that same level of determination. I can still muster that same level of dedication to build that endurance that it takes to get to that point. But I cannot expect 33-year-old overweight me to live up to 22-year-old abilities. So modify and overcome. Sir Edmund Hillary, who climbed Mount Everest, was blind. He had help. He had a modifier. He had guides. But he had the will and determination to make it happen and get it done. And you and I, we've got to have the same thing. So today, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror, and I want you to apologize to yourself if you're doing this. I want you to apologize to yourself for trying to live by past expectations, by past experiences. I want you to look back on those and do what's known as carry your weather with you. I want you to look back on those, and I want you to draw from those experiences, those memories, those highlights of your life, and draw strength from them to find the best you today. You can't be 20-something-year-old you, but you can be a better version of that than you are today. Don't compare yourself to anybody else except yourself. Do not compare yourself to anybody else but a previous version of you. And each day seek to be better than you were the day before. So you guys, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great workout planned and you got some great meals planned. And remember, we're just ordinary people trying to live extraordinary lives. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.